Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we are reacting to one of my favorite series here on YouTube, and that is the roster updates by Peg Hoops. Link to his channel in the description below. So these are always really nice videos just because you just really get a good, broad understanding of, like, how every team is kind of doing personal stat-wise. Well, usually. I mean, 2K can be kind of capped about it sometimes. I know my Pistons ratings are not doing good, though. Let's check it out so I can go cry.
Roster update of NBA 2K22 dropped today. I'm going to break down all the major changes in this video. Before the video starts, please be an OG, join the packet, and subscribe, and leave a like.
Go check out his channel, guys. Go subscribe, man.
Let's get the video started. I'm not starting with the Philadelphia 76ers this time. I'm starting off
Detroit Pistons
with the Wizards because someone asked me to go reverse for once, so that's what I'm going to do. Right? The Washington Wizards. The first thing to talk about
Beal's
is
an
Bradley
87.
Beal -2 and Spencer Dinwiddie -1.
Damn.
Spencer Dinwiddie specifically has been very, very bad. In fact, I think he should get a -2.
They're on a bit of a losing streak, too.
Beal should have. But this team is not performing as well. They started the year off, which is sad because I think all of us wanted to see them succeed this year. But it is what it is. They're starting to slow down a little bit.
Didn't they do that last year, too?
One a lot of you were begging for, and that is Gary Payton II. He
Dude's a beast.
gets a +5 overall.
Deserving.
+5 from a 72 to a 77, making him one of the best players on the
defense,
team.
the athleticism.
Now, I'm surprised there's no Jordan Poole update. I think he should be at least in the 80 overall club, but there was no change.
Yeah, I would say 81, 82 for sure.
Okay, so we have Ben McLemore, who gets +4 in this roster update. And we also get Dennis Smith Jr. +2. This team is struggling, as all of you know, and I think they're trying to give other players on this team a chance to see if they can do something, right? And that's what we're seeing. So for the Timberwolves, Ant goes -1, which is okay because he wasn't putting up the numbers he was at the start of the season, but he's still playing well. I don't think he should be downgraded any further. And then Jared Vanderbilt +2 from a 77 to a 79, making him the 4th best player on the
wing
team.
piece, Jared Vanderbilt.
This dude has one of the cleanest jump shots in 2K. So I'm happy he's going up. I'm going to use this team a lot more. So for the Thunder, the only thing I could find was Kenrich Williams +1. Besides that, I
good for him. Good for you, Kenrich.
So with the Suns, Chris Paul -1, and this is for the first time. It makes Devin Booker the by far best player on the Suns this season. I have said for the past 2 years now that Devin Booker is the best player on this team, and I think 2K finally has come around.
Kel should probably be like up +1, maybe.
+2, absolutely deserved. He's been great all year. I'm surprised it took him this long to update him because he's deserved it all year long. So for the Spurs, Derek White +2, making him almost the 3rd best player on this team. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the year he is, because he's finally playing well, which is massive for the Spurs. They need him to start picking it up, and these 3 to get better fast if they want to do anything.
Jonte 86.
Okay, so a couple names here on the Rockets. Garrison Matthews goes +3. So making him the 5th best player on the team. He's been having an amazing stretch, averaging 16 points in the past 10 games. Armani Brooks also goes +3, another player that's been playing well. And Josh Christopher also goes +3. So 3 players on the Rockets that go +3.
JC got to start
low key.
This always
usually happens with teams that are bad because they give all these players chances to grow, and that's what's basically happening. So from my understanding, the only upgrade I found on the Raptors was Yuta Watanabe +1, and that was literally it, which is very odd. I would have thought at least another player would have gone up, but no. But Utah's good. I like Yuta Watanabe. Every half of a year, he goes up +1. He started off at like a 72. He's going up to 75. Who knows? He might be really good soon. So for the Pistons, we have Sadiq Bey going down.
Damn! 75 overall. Sadiq, you were supposed to break out this year, man. Now break down. Yo, Sadiq Bey low-key pissed me off this season, man. I mean, he just had a really good game, I think it was last night, so that's something, I guess. But, Sadiq was, at least last year he could score, but, this season, he just had a really good game, though, so maybe we'll bounce things around. Also, what was Cade at? Like a 79?
-3.
Cade's
so
been,
he went from an 80 overall at one point this season to 75. That's a big, big difference. He's going to need to find that consistency. And then Cade Cunningham +1. So until Jeremy Grant comes back, Cade is the best player on the Pistons. So for the Pelicans, Devontae Graham -2.
I'll take it.
Crazy,
I'll take
this
it.
is that game winner, which is hilarious.
I think Cade should be an 81.
And then Brandon Ingram +1, getting him closer to the best player on the team. I think he should end up being tied at the end of the year with Jonas Valanciunas because he's been playing very well the past 10 games. So Sabonis +1, Brogdon -1. I feel like these two are stuck in a infinite loop of going up and down by 1 for the past 2 years.
Kind of like their record, too.
So for the Denver Nuggets, Monte Morris +3, making him the 3rd best player on this team. This is one of the better playmakers in the NBA.
Bones
in
at a
terms of not
75
turning it over and getting people open, right? So that's huge for him. And also sad that this team has like no help for Jokic if you really think about it. And Zeke Naji goes +3 as well. So big upgrades for the
Jeff Green just
for the
chilling.
Brooklyn Nets, James Harden -2. I'm surprised. I feel like he was gonna stay at a 91 all season. So him going down is a surprise for sure.
Yeah, Harden in the 80s is weird looking.
Okay. All right. He's just
weird
this
looking.
is the first time James Harden's been out of the 90 overall club in a really long time. It's really weird to see.
Probably since the
So
OKC
for the Mavericks,
days.
the only change I found was Maxi Kleber -1. Besides that, I saw literally nothing. For the Orlando Magic, Franz Wagner +3. Putting him in the 80 overall club for the first time in his career. He is damn good. He's already better than his brother. It's crazy. And then Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, I knew he'd be a good
-1,
NBA player.
Anthony is the best player on the Magic. When you really look at the Magic, they have a lot of young talent, and they're in a good place. But we also said that 6 years
Where's
ago.
Suggs
so who
at?
knows? So, man, Russell Westbrook -1. I am convinced at this point it's on purpose. I'm convinced at this point they do it on purpose now. Because
They do. Companies be like that just because like they know people are going to talk about it and stuff. And 82 for Russell Westbrook is insane. Like if there was any other, okay, if there was a lesser player putting up what Russell Westbrook could do, they would be skyrocketing in ratings. It's almost like we take for granted what Russell does.
You can't tell me after the last 10 games how he's been playing that he goes down. I do not
To an
know
82
if this is a joke or not.
that.
And I refuse to even acknowledge it anymore, 2K. I just refuse.
That's Ronnie.
So for
Ronnie's
the
a
New
big
York
Golden
Knicks,
State
who've been
Warriors fan.
struggling. Quentin Grimes goes +3 because he's starting to get minutes and he's actually performing pretty well, which is great to hear.
He's got a good jumper.
-3. So for the Kings, Harrison Barnes -1 again. He's just been plummeting ever since the start of the season. I take back everything I said about him. And he's still doing exactly what I thought he was going to do. So, whatever. Buddy Hield -1 as well. Dropping off the 80 overall club for the first time in a while. So, for the Utah Jazz, we go Donovan Mitchell +1.
at the 90.
I still argue to this day that they need to have the same rating of Rudy Gobert. They need to be tied for the best player on the team. For the Hornets, a lot of changes. Cody
lot of
Martin
78s.
+2. Oubre +2. Gordon Hayward +1. I mean, upgrade after upgrade. Everybody on this team has been eating. Everyone at one point this season has been averaging 20. LaMelo, Gordon Hayward, Miles Bridges, Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre. All these players at one
lot
point
of offense
averaged
on
20
that team
points this season for a span of 10 games. It's insane. This team is stacked in terms of like how deep they are. I'm impressed with this team by far. So for the Heat, I'm actually
There we
really
go.
happy with this one. PJ Tucker +3.
There we go.
There you go, 2K.
He's
I
back.
have said that players who are primary defenders do not get enough love in this game, and I think for the first time they
a great point.
acknowledge that PJ Tucker absolutely deserves.
I was just thinking about that because like I was watching a Philly game last night and like Matisse Thybulle wasn't like Matisse Thybulle's such an amazing defender, but like his 3-point shot's not the greatest. But it's crazy how like we view a great defensive player that's bad at offense versus a great offensive player that's bad at defense. Like we seem to give more respect to the offensive guys. I was just thinking about that.
Maybe even more. He is an essential piece to any team that he plays on. Also, Max Strus goes +2, making him tied with Gabe Vincent. Massive upgrade for this team. So for the Hawks, Danilo Gallinari +2. He did this last year where he started off the season really slow and then he started picking it up again. And
Gets
that's
that
what he's
jump
doing with
shot
the
going.
Hawks. So for the Grizzlies, major upgrades.
Desmond
everywhere.
Bane.
So Jaren Jackson Jr. +2. He has been averaging 25 points in the last 10 games.
Wow,
without
I didn't know
Morant,
that.
And they're 4th in the West. It's literally insane. Desmond Bane +2, making him the 3rd best player on this team. And if you've watched him play, dude is amazing. He deserves it. DeAnthony Melton +3. This is a long time coming. He was averaging like 23 points in the first 10 games, and then averaging
my
like
goodness.
18 in the last 10.
I've not been
He's
paying a
still
lot of attention to the
fantastic also.
Grizzlies.
So for the Clippers, this one's kind of crazy. So first, Paul George -1, which is weird because they have a pretty good record. So I'm a little surprised here. Isaiah Hartenstein's the only other person who gets an upgrade in this team
78.
with a +1. Making
No Luke Kennard upgrade? And that's not me being biased towards Luke Kennard. Like, Luke Kennard literally, like, anytime I see, like, highlights and stuff, like, it's been saying, oh, Luke Kennard's had himself a 17-point game.
him the second best
crazy.
player on the Clippers. And aren't they like 6th in the West? And Hartenstein's your second best player? That's crazy.
Yeah, something seems
That's
broken.
crazy. This is an MVP candidate then, if that's the case. So Jaylen Brown and Al Horford -2. I'm surprised there's no Dennis Schroeder upgrade. So very surprising there. But a couple downgrades here. Man, for the Cavs, who have been
it's gotta
so
be up like
surprising
crazy.
this year. Jared Allen +1 deserved. Darius Garland +1 deserved. Kevin Love +1, putting him back in the 80 overall club. He's been going up.
Had himself a nice game.
Man, this team's crazy. No one expected this team to be as good as they are, and that's because all these people have been playing so well. So the Bulls. So first of all, no upgrade for either player, which is very odd. Lonzo -1, whatever, sure. Nikola Vucevic -1. That's a surprise.
Down to an 81. Well lately. Wow.
Very weird team decisions. Very weird roster changes. I'm not sure about this one. So we have...
Yeah, the only thing I could think about that is maybe because of all like the protocols and people being out. But even so, there should be like some sort of change to them.
Chris Middleton -1 deserved. Drew Holiday has not gone up, which is crazy. And Pat Connaughton +1. I would have never guessed Pat Connaughton ever in his career would be in the 80 overall club. But here we are. He's been amazing this season.
Great role player.
And finally, we end off with the Philadelphia 76ers. Tobias Harris -1. His production has not been as good as it was at the start of the season. And finally, kind of a crazy one. Matisse Thybulle, an elite defender, goes -2.
See, that's
he may not be scoring as much as he was.
That's what I'm talking about. Like this, like we all saw this man literally shut down Curry. Like, just that's what I don't like about 2K. They do not care about defense. They do not care about it whatsoever. But that is the end of the video. Great update as always from Pat, guys. Go check out his channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out.